Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most misunderstood phenomena of the human mind, hypnosis. And no, it's not about mind control or clucking like a chicken on a stage. We're going to strip away all those Hollywood myths and get right to the science of what's really happening when we tap into this incredibly powerful and totally natural state of mind.
So when I see that word, what's the first image that pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's probably a stage show, right? A swinging pocket watch and this mysterious idea of just losing control. But how much of that is real and how much is just pure entertainment? These ideas have created some really powerful myths that today we are going to completely unravel.
You know, the biggest fear, the one we see in all the movies, is that a hypnotist can just take over your mind, turn you into a puppet. But as we're about to find out, this is probably the #1 misconception about how hypnosis actually works. And then there's this one, the worry about getting stuck. What if you go into a trance and you just don't come back out? The thought of being trapped inside your own mind is, it's a pretty scary thought. But is it even possible? We're going to get into that. And of course, here's a big one for a lot of people, the fear that you'll be forced to reveal your deepest, darkest secrets against your will. The idea that under hypnosis, every single private thought you have is suddenly fair game. All right, so let's tackle these fears head on. We're going to be drawing from the work of Dr. Bruce Goldberg to dismantle these myths one by one and see what the science really has to say about what's going on. Okay, this right here, this is the absolute core principle, the most important takeaway. You are always, and I mean always, the pilot in the cockpit of your own mind. The source material is crystal clear on this. You can't be hypnotized against your will, and you can't be made to do anything that goes against your own moral code. Your mind has its own built-in security system. So let's just run through this. Mind control? Nope, that's false. The hypnotist is just a guide. You're the one in the driver's seat. Getting stuck? That's impossible. You can literally just open your eyes and end the session whenever you want. Spilling your secrets? False again. You only share what you are totally comfortable with. It's just not the spooky mind control tool that pop culture makes it out to be. So if hypnosis isn't some kind of weird, mystical mind control, then what on earth is it? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple, and it's a state you are already very, very familiar with. Here is the key. Hypnosis is not sleep. It's a state of highly, highly focused attention. Think of it like this. You're just putting the analytical, critical part of your brain, your conscious mind, on standby for a little bit so you can communicate directly with your powerful subconscious mind. And the whole time you are fully 100% aware of what's going on. In fact, you've probably already been in a hypnotic state today. Ever driven home and suddenly realized you don't remember the last few miles? That's what they call highway hypnosis. Or have you ever been so absorbed in a great movie that the world around you just completely disappears? That's a hypnotic state. We all spend hours every single day in these natural states of focused attention. It's a totally normal brain function that actually helps us process things and even manage our stress. Now, to really get how this all works, we need to understand the different levels or gears our brain operates on. Let's take a quick look at the brain's 4 distinct states of activity. So your brain cycles through these 4 levels every single day. Right now, listening to this, you're in beta, your normal waking state. As you start to relax, you shift into alpha. That's that creative, daydreamy state. That is the gateway. Then you have theta and delta, which are the deeper stages of sleep. Hypnosis isn't about forcing you into sleep. It's about teaching you how to consciously get to and stay in that really powerful, really receptive alpha state. So why is this alpha state such a big deal? Well, it's because it's the doorway. It's the access point to the most powerful part of your mind, your subconscious. Dr. Goldberg uses this brilliant analogy. Think of your subconscious as your computer's operating system. It's running all the automatic programs in the background, your habits, your beliefs, your instant reactions. Hypnotic suggestions are like new pieces of software. They let you bypass the conscious mind's firewall, that little voice that says, oh, I can't do that, and install new, much more helpful programs directly onto your main operating system. So how do you install this new software? It actually comes down to this simple but incredibly powerful formula. First, you need directed attention, that focused alpha state. Then you need a genuine belief that change is possible. And finally, you need a real expectation that the process is going to work. When you bring those 3 things together, the door to the subconscious just swings right open. Okay, so we've debunked the myths and we understand the basic mechanics. But why do it? What's the point? Well, as we're about to see, the practical applications for improving your own life are just vast.
I mean, just look at this list. The benefits are so wide-ranging. We're talking about everything from deep stress relief to building unshakable self-confidence to finally overcoming bad habits or phobias. Because all those things are run by the subconscious, hypnosis gives you a direct path to address them right at the source, whether that's managing pain, boosting your memory, or finally getting a good night's sleep.
And I think this captures a really fundamental shift in thinking. A lot of therapies focus on the past, on trying to figure out why we have a certain problem. Hypnosis, on the other hand, is a proactive tool. It's less concerned with the tangled why and way more focused on the how, on giving your mind a clear path and the right tools to build a new reality moving forward. It's really about empowerment.
So in the end, when we see hypnosis not as some mysterious force, but as a natural skill, a way to consciously work with our own powerful minds, the fear of losing control is totally replaced by a sense of possibility. The question is no longer what could happen to me, it's what could I achieve? So, if your subconscious really is a powerful computer, what program would you run first?